Hello crafty friends and welcome back to my channel. So usually we do a Saturday late night crafting, but today I thought why not try an afternoon session of crafting. I was really having a lot of trouble arranging my camera. That's why you see the extra space here. I'm still figuring the lives out, so please bear with today. But well, I want to have a fun new product today. I want to show you a fun new product, and this is some fun colored cardstocks by Cat Scrappiness. Now, Cat Scrappiness has some beautiful dies, stamps, embossing stencils, but they came up with a brand new product, which are these colored cardstocks. Now, I have been playing with these cardstocks for a few days now, and I am really in love with them. So we have a set of 25 cardstocks in beautiful rainbow colors, and these are really high quality cardstock 100-pound papers. We also have the white cardstock, which is a heavier cardstock. Probably I would use that for my card bases. These are 120 pounds. Let me show you the product up close. And I just have half sheets here because I have been playing with these and I have cut these sheets down, and I absolutely love how they die cut. These are also 100 pounds, so thick enough to use as your card bases as well. But I'll be showing you a very simple card today where we will be using some of these fun colors to create stripes and add a beautiful focal point on our card. So before I get started, I just wanted to share something fun with you guys. So these are 25 colors. You can buy them in a pack, or you could also build your own color pack. That means you could pick 10 colors out of these 25 and create your own color pack. So that is create your own pack. You can choose any 10 sheets from the 25 colors. So I just made sure I have everything printed so that I don't miss out on anything. You can go to the Cat Scrappiness website. I will have link to that in the description box below, and all the other details and all the other products that I'll be using to create our card today. Now, let's take a closer look at the cardstocks. We have some beautiful colors here. We have this purple. Let me just arrange this color wise so you can take a closer look. We have some beautiful oranges, peaches, yellows. I love this navy blue here. And then we have some teals, beautiful blues. How fun are these papers? Absolute beautiful rainbow order. Yes, I should have arranged this before the live, but then I was having so much fun with these papers. I went die cutting and, I just mixed it up. So, but then it's okay. I think this way you can also see all the colors that if you wanted to pick 10, you don't have to be like in the same color family. You could pick one from each of these color families and it still works. So, all right. So let's take a look at the reds first. We have two different shades of reds. Now this looks same, but it's actually a little different. This one is more of a bright red and this is a cherry red. So this is sweet cherry and this is scarlet plume. Isn't that really pretty? So if you're building your pack of 10 and if you don't want like colors in the same color family, you could pick either one of these. Next we have the peach sherbet and pumpkin spice. Beautiful shades of oranges. And followed by that, you have a fun yellow. This is honeycomb yellow. Again, one sheet of yellow. Now, all of these cardstocks are available in full size cardstock panel. These are just cut into half. So that's why you don't see the entire panels here. Then for the greens, we have a variety of greens to choose from. here, these three. So this is the Kiwi Kiss, a very key lime kind of a color. Then we have Granny Apple and Pine Needle. Now this is the darkest green we have. This is something I think this trio I would use with foliage or any kind of leaves and those kind of designs. All right, moving on to the blues. Now, there is a fun variety of blues in this pack, is what I feel, as compared to the other colors. And let's take a look at them one by one. So, we have soft sky, then we have the coastal blue, then I think it's the deep sea. Here you go. So this is the Nightfall blue. I absolutely love this almost dark navy shade. So this is something I think I would definitely go for as my card front panel, because I would like to add this as a night sky scene, like blend in some beautiful bright black tones to create a beautiful night sky, and then maybe add some gold or silver splatters on this one. So this is one cardstock that I absolutely love. I do tend to go to clean and simple card designs, but when I'm in mood for colors, I definitely love bright and shiny as compared to the lighter cardstocks. We also have some beautiful teal cardstocks. Right here, we have the Aqua Splash and Tropical Teal. Again, two beautiful shades of teals, which I feel pair perfectly with the greens as well as the blues. So this I consider like one big color family. Okay. Then we have some fun pinks and purples and lavenders. Again, this is one color family that I reach for, especially when I'm going in for, say, floral card designs or, beautiful die cut pieces. Now, this is one combination that I absolutely love is pink and orange. So pink, orange, peach, these color combinations are something that I absolutely adore, and I feel that this would go perfectly together. So the card that we are creating today is absolutely simple to create, and that is something you can create using your scrap pieces of cardstock. So if you have like a scrap drawer and then that you have some colored cardstocks, you just cut out stripes of them and then arrange them together, and just one plain single focal point is all you need. Now this one is also using all of these colored cardstocks here, and the base is also from the new collection by Cat Scrappiness. This is the plain white. This has a very smooth finish. So if you're into using your alcohol markers, this cardstock works absolutely beautifully for that. Now this one is heavier than these colored cardstocks. These were 100 pound. This is 120 pound. So really heavyweight, not just for die cutting. This is perfect to create your card bases as well. Now this is bright white. Okay, so that is what I used for my base here, and I did some basic stamping and sentiment, and this will be the main focal point of our card. So we will be recreating this somewhat similar design, but in a different color palette. So to save us some time here, I already went ahead and die cut all the pieces that I needed for my card front. Now here I kept a very repeating color pattern, but here I went and wanted to play with the other colors that I had not used here. So that's why I have these stripes. Now if you notice, there are some tiny little dotted lines on this card. That is because I used the A2 stitched stripes die, which cuts out these little stripes all at once. But if you don't have this die, I will definitely leave a link to this particular die set in the description box below. There are 4 different sizes you can cut them out with. And if you don't have that, very simple, just use your paper trimmer and cut out little pieces of these cardstocks and you are good to go. Now for my focal point image, this one was the stitched foliage, again by Cat Scrappiness. But then for my card that we are creating today, I cut out a little floral arrangement from the Sunflower Duo die from Cat Scrappiness again. So we will start by arranging our little stripes and then layering the little sunflower onto the card center. Now, the sunflower, I used the big white cardstock, and the base is also from the 120-pound white cardstock. And all of these strips are 100 pounds. So all in all, your card is pretty sturdy, even with all these layers. Since I used a heavyweight card base, it's quite sturdy. So my color combination, or the way I want to layer it, is having the greens on top and then moving to the warmer tones. You could definitely layer them very close to each other, just like this. There are two ways to do this. So you could layer them just like this, or keep the tiniest gap and leave a little bit of white open. So there are multiple ways to use these scraps. Now here I place them in these horizontal lines, but in this card I'll be placing them diagonally. Now each of these strips are 1/4 inch strips, but then it does not have to be perfectly 1/4 inch. Some of them can be big, some small. So you can create variation in your design depending on the size of each of these strips. Now I will be layering them all together, just like we did here, without any of those white spaces. And my idea is to have them all together like this, and we will be placing our flower. It's a beautiful sunflower. We'll be placing it right there, and I'll have a sentiment diagonally stamped on this panel. So that's the whole design. And for this one, I didn't have a brown cardstock in this collection, so I wanted to have a brown flower center. So I will be ink blending on this. So for now, we will start by adhering our cardstock stripes. I will start with a red, and this is somewhat the place that I'm looking for where I need to place this cardstock stripe. So what I'm going to do is just take some liquid glue and add my stripe in place. It does not have to be perfectly diagonal, because if I was supposed to arrange it horizontally or vertically, I would want to make sure that it's perfectly aligned to my panel. But since this is diagonal, I can just go wherever I want to place it and I will just glue it down. Now, before I stack my layers, I just want to stamp my sentiment, so that, I don't want, like, after everything is set in place and I go to stamp my sentiment and I ruin the card. So before I place all of these together, I will go ahead and stamp my sentiment right below this line. So this will be my reference line. Now, to stamp my sentiment, I will pick a sentiment from, again, this is a new stamp set by Cat Scrappiness. This is a sentiment sampler set. And let's see. So if this is my flower, I need a sentiment that fits in this area and goes diagonally along this line. So I might take maybe celebrating your day, or just a simple happy birthday is also good here. But if I was supposed to say stamp like a bigger sentiment, it would not fit in this line. So I will have to move my focal point a little on top, which will create an off center for the card. So I will just stamp a smaller sentiment, that is happy birthday or sending so much love. I think that would fit perfectly in this space. So I will go ahead and place this onto my stamp wheel. I'm not yet cutting the edges. We'll do that after we place all of them together. And then I will make sure that this is aligned to my sentiment strip. I will again bring back my flower and make sure it has enough space there, and that'll give me a rough idea of where I need to stamp my sentiment. That looks fine. Now I will simply go ahead and stamp this. And hopefully this is aligned. Now just to be double sure, I think I will bring my grid transparency sheet and align it with the diagonal stripe. I think now we can be really certain. All right. That fits perfectly. Now we can just pick everything up and get our stamping in place. I'm using my Versafine Onyx Black ink to stamp the sentiment. I will not use my embossing powder with this ink today. I will just stamp it directly. But since this is a pigment ink and stays wet for a little longer, I'll make sure that, I'll not touch it and smudge it. There you go. That looks perfect. Just peel out this panel. And we can now start layering our cardstock stripes. For the first stripe, we added glue to the stripe. Now, the easiest way that I like to do it is just add a little bit of glue. You could also use masking tapes, but I prefer this technique over masking tape. I just like adding a little bit of glue and sticking everything together. Now, make sure these stripes are placed really close to each other. If you want that white to be seen, that's another design altogether. But then I don't want any of that white cardstock to be seen. So I'm making sure that all the papers are really snug. Followed by this beautiful honeycomb yellow. Then we will bring in our greens. This was the key lime green. Probably by now I have learned the names of these cardstocks, so I'm having a lot of fun with them. Then we have the pine needle, which was the darkest green in the three greens that we have. And last but not the least, we will add the tropical tea, which was the darkest tea. That's it. Now we can just go ahead and add our sunflower. I'm not going to color the sunflower in because I'm going to leave it white. That's what I feel brings out that, beauty of the cardstock in the background. It's the same I did here. I just added a plain white foliage. So it's the same exact design we are recreating, only that instead of a die cut strip, I'm using strips that were cut using my paper trimmer. Now, a fun way to add, now these are really flat. A fun way to do them is, or add dimension to the petals, is just curling them up using a pen or a pencil. So what I like to do is just wrap the petal around the pencil and you'll see that dimension on the pencil. See, it's not flat anymore. So that will add a lot of dimension to your petals. So this, as compared to this, has a lot of dimension. I take this is absolutely flat, but this one has a lot of dimension. So when you go to put it on your card front, it'll pop up. I will do the same with the second layer as well. You can use anything round, a pencil, a paintbrush, a pen, nothing fancy here. Now all I have to do is layer these up. Now to layer them up, I like to use some foam tape that will add additional dimension to this centerpiece. I will add a little piece of this foam circle that I have. And before gluing it down, I'll just add some liquid glue so that I have some wiggle room there. This is really easy to line up. You just make sure that the petals are not overlapping each other and you have a fuller flower. Now this die set also has these dies that can cut out the stem and the leaves, and you get some extra leaves as well. But then for our card today, I will keep it just simple. Now for the center, I wanted brown, but then I didn't have brown cardstock in this collection. So what I'm going to do is add some light ink blending and we can create our own brown. I will bring this on my sticky mat and let's grab some beautiful brown ink. I will start with a lighter shade. Now this actually is the base layer, so you can avoid this, but then I like to add it under this textured layer is because of that beautiful intricate detail. I don't want that to get lost. So I will start with a light brown on the base layer. I'll do the same here as well. Next, I will bring in a darker shade of brown and not on the entire circle, but just the base or any one part of the circle. That'll just add slight depth. So if I bring it closer to the camera, you can see that little color gradient there as compared to this one, which is just plain brown. So I will intensify the color on this one as well. This one actually you don't need to add multiple shades of colors or browns, but then I just like to match it in so that, you know, just in case this peeks out, I don't want to see that single color underneath. I will also bring in a third deeper color. Just like that, we have a beautiful color gradient. Now I can go ahead and stick this there. It's very easy to line up, and I will go ahead and stick this on the center of our flower. So this is how it will look. Now again, for this layer as well, I'm going to use one of those foam circles. To add that slightest bit of lift. This solid circle will make this piece a lot more sturdy. And with that, those petals curled up, your flower looks really dimensional. Now, before I place the flower in place, I need to trim off the edges. So what I like to do that for that is you can use your scissors, but I am not very confident at this stage to cut this panel with plain scissors. So what I'm going to do is just line this on my paper trimmer. And just trim it right there. Now for this one, I'm not sure if the ink is still wet. So what I'm going to do is just lift this part and just slide it there. And once the paper is in place, I will just drop it down. I'm not going to slide the paper while this thing is still sticking down. I will trim it, and again, I will just lift this part up and slide my paper out. Because yes, there have been times where I just slide the paper through that and the ink smudges. So that's it. You can actually just leave this card just like this. Also, it looks absolutely stunning. But we will go ahead and add our little flower. So I really want my papers to be the main focal point. But if I place this flower a little down, so I don't want that white on white, it kind of, the flower kind of gets lost in that white. So I am trying to place the flower over my stripes. And for this one, I'm not going to use any foam tape. I will add liquid glue directly on the flower center. Just on the center, I'm not adding anything on the petals because the petals are raised. And because this is liquid glue, you do have some wiggle room and you can decide where you want that flower to be. That's it. Now for some bling, I am using the sparkling clear hexagon confetti. This is one of my favorites when it comes to adding sparkle. It has that beautiful shine and the shape is absolutely stunning. It catches the light beautifully and it goes pretty much with any color combination that you use. So since it's clear, you can use it with any color combination. Now here we have so many, so you don't have to struggle with what kind of sequin mix you're using. It's the same that I used on this card, and you'll see if you want it to be blue, it'll be blue. If you want it to be green, it'll be green. It just catches the light beautifully. So I will pick these up using my pick tool. And like, I always like to have odd numbers. So that's exactly what we'll be doing here. 3 there and 3 on the bottom. I'll just bring out 5 and then we can decide on the placement as we go. So it how I like to place these is in and around the focal point image or the sentiment. Usually I pick the sentiment. So if this is my sentiment, I'll have 3 on above the sentiment, 2 below the sentiment. If this is the focal point, I will have 3 above, 2 below, or that's how I like to place my sequence. So this is here. That is super simple. And I also like to have my sequence placed diagonally opposite. So for this one, I will place them right here. So it goes diagonally opposite. This is also a personal choice if that is something you like. But then for this particular card, now if you see here, I place my sequence diagonally opposite on either side of the foliage. But here I'm not really happy with the placement of this one because I want most of my sequence on the striped panel. So I am going to remove this and we will have just these 3 placed here. Another thing I can do is this and have the next set here. So that way my sequence stays within this area and it doesn't look out of place. I think I can do that. So these are clear, but still you can use them with the glue. It'll dry out and you won't see the glue under the clear sequence. And well, that's it. That was the super simple and easiest card that I created. I absolutely love these papers, and this is one design that you can definitely recreate with all the scrap pieces of papers that you have in your stash. And that would be absolutely amazing. And this was really simple. It's just die cutting with plain white cardstock, be it on this card or on this one. It's the same. So it's just die cutting using plain white cardstock for just that pop of color. Now, if this was a normal flower, I would probably skip this as well. But since this is a sunflower, I wanted a big color on the flower center. Now, again, there was no ink blending on any other part other than this one here. If you take this card, there's no ink blending at all. So this one is die cut stripes. This is just cut using your paper trimmer, and I absolutely love how this turned out. Very easy, and you can recreate this in so many different color combinations. Like you could go monochromatic, like all the greens or all the blues, or stick to all the pinks and oranges. I think this is one design that is absolutely versatile for any kind of project that you're trying to create. And well, I would definitely recreate this in a bunch of oranges and pinks, which is my favorite color combination. And I will try to post that on my Instagram or on my other social media accounts. I will leave a link to all of those in the description box below. So before we leave, I will just bring this sheet back and we just let me remind you, this is a brand new collection by Cat Scrappiness. You can create your own pack. You can pick 10 colors out of these gorgeous colors and create your own custom pack. It could either be 10 of all same color family or choose your rainbow color order. I absolutely love these cardstocks. The colored cardstocks are £100 And the white cardstock is 120 pound. Absolutely beautiful for your die cutting and for your card bases. Also, this is smooth finish. So if you love alcohol markers for your coloring, this is perfect for that. Well, I will leave the supplies that I used for both these cards in the description box below, including the dies that I used to cut this, the foliage die, the sunflower, and you have to check out this fun new release, which again by Cat Scrappiness, that was released a couple of weeks back. And I used the sentiments sampler, which has like all the sentiments that you need for your day-to-day cards. We have like the birthdays, thank yous, life is sweeter with friend like you, sending a little sunshine your way. So these sentiments I feel are absolutely perfect when you're creating your everyday cards. And these were actually paired with these. How adorable are these? This is the Highland mini moose and cute little Highland cows, little butterfly, little chick friends, and there's a fence. And then we have the coordinating sentiment stamps. Now these are absolutely gorgeous if you have like a big beautiful scene and one big sentiment there. They do not have coordinating dies for now, but I'm hoping they'll have them soon. So I will leave a link to this as well as this release in the description box below. Please note that all of those links are affiliate links, which means that if you shop using one of my links, I'll get a small commission at no cost to you guys. And thank you again for joining me today. Sorry about the larger work area and it's not well zoomed in, but then I'm still trying to figure out my camera position and my mic situation with these lives. I'm hoping I will come back to it. And yeah, so I'm also experimenting with the Saturday timings, like should it be a late night live or this one. I'm happy with this time because I don't have to stay awake, but it all depends on my little one who is sleeping right now, so I can quickly pop up and create a fun card and share it with you guys. Thank you again for joining me. Until next time, stay safe. Bye.